Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Merrick Garland's going to have to face the legal music. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. Representative Ronnie Jackson has actually said, because what happened was, and I find this hilarious, the Department of Justice, headed by Merrick Garland, has decided not to prosecute Merrick Garland, who heads their department. How's that for nobody's above the law? Well, that doesn't mean he's out of the woods. See, there is something that hasn't been used since 1916 that actually could lead to the arrest and prosecution of Merrick Garland without the Department of Justice getting involved at all. Now, Ronnie Jackson, Representative Ronnie Jackson, former White House physician, he talked about this on Fox News, and I know it's something that the Republicans in Congress are actively considering from what I hear. From what I hear, this is something Mike Johnson is considering, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. So this could be huge. You could see for the first time since 1916 this implemented and the Attorney General arrested and kept under arrest until he complies with the subpoena for the Biden tapes. Let's take a look at this report and let me know what you think in the comments.
All right, Speaker Mike Johnson says that the House is going to take their fight for the Biden classified documents audio tapes to court. This after Biden's Justice Department refused to prosecute its own boss, Attorney General Merrick Garland, last week for contempt. The head of the DOJ, which is supposed to be split off, not politically aligned with the White House, blatantly working to protect Joe Biden and influence the 2024 election by concealing these audio tapes of an interview with the special counsel Robert Hur, who was investigating Joe Biden's absolutely insane behavior with classified documents. Last week, the House voted to hold Garland in criminal contempt. The DOJ claimed, though, that Garland's actions, quote, do not constitute a crime. Oh, so now it's not a crime to ignore a subpoena from Congress. In a statement, Speaker Johnson calling it sadly predictable that the Biden administration's Justice Department will not prosecute Garland for defying congressional subpoenas, even though the department aggressively prosecuted Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro for the same thing. Peter Navarro right now is sitting in a jail cell, just so you know, for the exact same thing. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson joins us now to talk about all this. And, sir, it's good to have you back on. They went after Bannon and Navarro, and their subpoenas for those two men came from a crooked committee, as we've said before, which should have never even had subpoena power to begin with. And Navarro's in jail right now.
Well, let's face it, January 6th committee was corrupt.
Yeah.
It was highly partisan. But, we've got a real problem here in terms of Congress's oversight capabilities. We are vested in the Constitution with the responsibility to conduct oversight, hold the administration accountable. But unfortunately, Congress has allowed that power to atrophy over the decades. What Speaker Johnson now is pursuing is civil contempt. So he'll go to court and try and get a court, remember the third branch, to enforce their subpoena. There's actually a third type of contempt that Congress has used in the past. It's called inherent contempt. And that is where you basically send the sergeant at arms to the individual who is holding Congress in contempt, and you arrest that individual until they comply with your subpoena. Now, it hasn't been used in the House since 1916. In the Senate, the last time they used it was 1935. But I think the way this is going, the way that administrations just completely blow off Congress and its constitutional responsibility and authority to enforce these things, at some point in time, some committee is going to have to start looking at inherent contempt as well.
I would love to hear Merrick Garland just explain why he won't release it. If anything, just that. Just tell us, as somebody that's not supposed to be partisan aligned, why it is that you're concealing the audio tapes of a special counsel interview with the president over his egregious behavior with classified documents. What possible answer could he have that's not corrupt?
He's doing it because he can do it. Yeah. He's the law. And so he believes he's above the law. And by and large, again, the way Congress has allowed its oversight responsibilities and authority to atrophy, they'll continue to get walked over by administrations from both parties. So my suggestion for members of Congress is, pursue the civil route. But if that doesn't work, I would not rule out inherent contempt. Send Sergeant at Arms to the homes of those individuals and arrest them until they're willing to comply with your lawful order.
The transcripts of Biden's ghost